As we all know, Mother Earth is running low on resources to feed and provide for humans and other creatures. Forget about feeding, human greed has forced it to hang on to the last straw. Deforestation and resource depletion are running on such a high number, but it's safe to say that the planet is fighting back. Since the outbreak of the coronavirus pandemic, the sky is bluer, the air is cleaner, and the planet is rejuvenating as we speak. The questions we ought to ask ourselves during these times are, how long can she take it? What happens next time if an even disastrous event takes place? That's where the idea of colonizing space comes in. And when we speak of space colonization, which two organizations come to our minds? Yes, it's SpaceX and Blue Origin. Stay tuned, we're about to tell you things you've never known about SpaceX and Blue Origin. In 2001, Elon Musk had an idea to make an experimental greenhouse on Mars, and as time progressed, the idea gradually grew into space traveling and settlement. To achieve this goal of his, and for experimental purposes, he paid a visit to the Russians to buy a used rocket. The conference didn't go as hoped, and Musk realized that the most optimum way was to build rockets, then to buy used ones so as to cut the cost and fund the rest of the operations. And in 2002, SpaceX came into action. Musk's vision for the future of humanity is what fuels him in this endeavor. This concept of settling in different planets in order to ensure humans don't go extinct, led by unforeseeable circumstances in their own planet, is pretty thought-provoking. While all these were happening, the wealthiest man in the world, the CEO of Amazon, Jeff Bezos, fancied about rockets and space travel since he was a kid. Motivated by English writer Arthur C. Clarke, Bezos wanted to preserve Earth by creating an ecosystem in space. He wanted to create a massive structure to hold and provide for billions of people, like being on Earth. The only difference is that it'll be all up in space. Unlike Elon Musk, Jeff has no issues with funding. Why would he? He's the wealthiest man on Earth, and this wasn't something he couldn't achieve. Money wasn't a problem for Bezos. And so, on September 8, 2000, Blue Origin was founded. Stay along with us to know how this race started and to know how it's going. The two companies owned by the two eccentric billionaires are in a race to achieve their goals in space first. We have also often seen them throwing knives at each other in friendly but competitive banter through social media platforms. Speaking of which, we might wonder why there is a race between these two since both parties are doing it for the benefit of humanity. There is a catch. You see, space is an open territory, and therefore the unsaid law of first come, first serve comes into play. Simply put, the first company to achieve their goal in space gets to be the one who makes the laws up there. We believe the question on why one should fear the other is derived from what makes one better than the other. And if we think about it, SpaceX is doing better, and Blue Origin should definitely fear SpaceX for the reasons we're about to tell you. Number 1. Visible and recent successes of SpaceX. In December 2015, SpaceX successfully landed its rocket booster, Falcon 9, back on Earth from orbit. Meanwhile, no such feats have been achieved by Blue Origin yet, although they claim to have successfully built a reusable booster, New Glenn. SpaceX has also sent astronauts to the International Space Station, ISS, successfully. So until Bezos thinks of something nothing less than breathtaking, SpaceX will continue to strive, leaving Blue Origin in its dust. Number 2. The pace of growth in SpaceX. We all know the saying, slow and steady wins the race. But how many of us truly believe in it? We know that Musk is rushing things to complete the tasks for his sponsors. The number of rockets launched by SpaceX for the research purpose every year, the amount of data collected to analyze and overcome the obstacles are far greater than that done by Blue Origin. Like, literally, the guy launched twice the number of rockets in 2020 than his previous year. Well, practice does make perfect. Number 3. The transparency in Musk's words. Elon Musk, on many occasions, has openly conveyed his motivation, future plans, ongoing work, his failures, his successes, and everything about SpaceX for the Mars colonization. Unlike Blue Origin, whose works are a bit more under the radar. They're keeping it low-key for so long that we didn't know the company existed until 2002. This naturally wins SpaceX the people's vote. Number 4. Project Artemis. On April 16, 2021, NASA headlined its paper by signing a contract with SpaceX for a whopping $2.89 billion for Project Artemis. NASA is planning to send humans to the moon and chose SpaceX for their first commercial human lander. NASA is looking forward to writing history again on the moon, the first female to set foot on the moon and the first person of color to explore the moon's surface. Again, a golden feather for SpaceX. Although the contract is on hold due to the protests by Blue Origin and Dynetics, there must have been a solid reason on why they chose SpaceX. Number 5. Musk's theory of colonization. We know that the topic of which is the better theory is debatable. Still, hear us out. In a scenario where if humans were to live inside giant space pods, all the materials needed to construct and repair the structure must be obtained from the Earth. But if humans were to colonize Mars, a few decades later, we might be able to adapt and survive on that planet. The evolution of Homo sapien is no small feat. We've seen it in the past, and we can hope for it in the future. All of this without relying entirely on Earth in the long run. Us, ourselves, will be surprised of how much we can evolve and grow. Between SpaceX and Blue Origin, who do you think will win this space race? Who will colonize space first? Don't forget to like and subscribe and turn on post notifications for more. Thanks for watching Elon Musk Zone. See you on the next one.